Assalamu alaikum. This is the Principles of Microeconomics course directed to first year. Let's now solve some applications relating to the last topic of part 1 in our course, which is the market equilibrium. First, state whether the following sentences are true or false. 1. According to this figure, at a price of 50, there is an excess demand of 15 million units. This sentence is false because at a price of 50, we find that the quantity demanded would be 10 units, while the quantity supplied would be 25 units. In this case, we have 15 million units excess supply, not excess demand. So, the correction of this sentence is that, according to this figure, at a price of $50, there is an excess supply of 15 million units. Number 2, according to this figure, if the price of the good is $50, the price will fall, causing the quantity supplied to fall. This sentence is true because at a price of $50, there is an excess supply for the product where the quantity supplied equal 25 units and the quantity demanded would be 10 units. So there would be a 15 million units excess supply of the product. This excess supply would put downward pressure on the price to decrease in order to restore equilibrium at price equal 25 and the equilibrium quantity would be 14 units. So if the price of the good is above the equilibrium price, this would put downward pressure on the price till we reach the equilibrium. Number 3, according to the graph below, the equilibrium price would exist at a price of 10. This sentence is true because at price of 10, the quantity demanded equals the quantity supplied equals 50 units. There is no excess demand and there is no excess supply at price equal 10. That's why we call it equilibrium price level. Number 4, according to the graph shown, a price ceiling would exist at a price of 14. This sentence is false. Why? Because a price ceiling refers to a maximum price that set by the government, which is lower than the equilibrium price level, and it's not permitted to rise. At a price of 14, this price is above the equilibrium price level, which is 10. So, at price of 14, we can call this price floor, which is a minimum price set by the government, which is above the equilibrium price and is not permitted to fall. Okay, so the correction of this statement is according to the graph shown, a price floor would exist at a price of 14. Number 5, the price ceiling is a minimum price set by the government above the equilibrium price and cause a supply surplus. This sentence is false because the price ceiling is a maximum price set by the government below the equilibrium price and cause shortage in demand, while the price floor is a minimum price set by the government above the equilibrium price and cause surplus in supply. So the correction of this sentence is that the price floor is a minimum price set by the government above the equilibrium price and cause a supply surplus, while the price floor is a maximum price set by the government below the equilibrium price and cause shortage. Number 6. The price ceiling gives rise to the black market. This sentence is true because the price ceiling, it is a maximum price set by the government below the equilibrium price, and this gives rise to excess demand where the quantity demanded is greater than the quantity supplied, and it would give rise to the black market. Number 7. When taxes decreases, the equilibrium quantity would decrease. This sentence is false. When taxes decreases, this factor affects the supply side inside the market. When the tax that is imposed on a certain output decreases, it gives the producer more incentive to produce more. So the production would increase and the supply curve would shift rightward. Here, the quantity, equilibrium quantity, would increase from Q1 to Q2. In this case, when tax decreases, the equilibrium quantity would decrease, also price or equilibrium price would decrease. Number 8. When wages increase, the equilibrium price would increase. This sentence is true. First of all, wages is considered a factor that affects the supply side of the market. When wages increase, it means that the cost of labor or the cost of one input of production increase. So the cost of production increase. This will not give the producer the incentive to produce more. So the quantity or the supply of the product would decrease. This is shown graphically by shifting the supply curve, the whole supply curve leftward from S1 to S2. The new equilibrium would be at a higher price while the equilibrium quantity would be lower. Number 9. When price of substitute increases, the equilibrium price would increase. This sentence is true. First of all, the price of substitute is considering a factor on the demand side, which affects the demand side of the market. In this case, when the price of substitute increase, this made our main product more cheaper. So the demand for the main product would increase. This shown graphically by shifting the whole of the demand curve to the right. So the whole demand curve, which is D1, would shift upward to the right to D2, moving the equilibrium price to B2, and the equilibrium quantity would increase to Q2. So when the price of substitutes increase, the demand for the product would increase and the equilibrium price and the equilibrium quantity would be higher than before. Number 10. When consumer income decreases, the equilibrium price would increase and the equilibrium quantity falls. This sentence is false. Why? First of all, consumer income is considered a factor that affects the demand side of the market. If our product is a normal good, Any increase in income would cause the demand for the product to increase. In our case, the consumer income decreases. In this case, the demand for our product would decrease. This is shown graphically by shifting the whole demand curve to the left from D1 to D2. This causes the equilibrium price to decrease from P1 to P2, and the equilibrium quantity would decrease from Q1 to Q2. So when consumer income decreases, the equilibrium price would decrease and the equilibrium quantity falls.